Welcome, dear listener. Asterisk tonight is not about rushing, not about striving, not about doing more. Tonight is about you, about giving your mind and body the gentle gift of rest. Asterisk, I know the day may have been heavy. Perhaps your thoughts have been spinning or worries have followed you like shadows. But here in this moment, you are safe. You are allowed to let it all go. The world can wait. For now, you deserve peace. Asterisk, as you settle into your most comfortable place, imagine a soft blanket of calm being draped around you. With every breath, feel tension melting from your shoulders, from your chest, from your mind. Each inhale draws in comfort, and each exhale carries away the weight you no longer need to hold. Asterisk, this story is not a test for your mind to solve. It is a lullaby in words, a soothing rhythm meant to carry you gently towards sleep. You don't need to remember every detail. You don't need to follow every sentence. Just let the sound wash over you like calming music, flowing softly in the background of your thoughts. Asterisk, and as the tale unfolds, guiding you into a world of stillness and serenity, know that you are not alone. This is your sanctuary. This is your safe place. Asterisk, so let us begin this gentle journey together. A journey designed to help you let go, to rest deeply, and to drift into the sweetest of dreams. Asterisk, the evening retreat. Asterisk, the day was slowly fading, its final rays of sunlight stretching across the horizon in golden ribbons. The air was softer now, carrying with it the subtle fragrance of earth cooling after warmth, a scent so delicate it felt like nature's own sigh of relief. The sky was painted in layers of lavender and rose, the colors melting gently into one another, as though the heavens themselves were preparing to drift into dreams. Asterisk, you find yourself walking along a quiet path, away from the noise of the world. Each step feels unhurried, unforced, like the rhythm of your breath slowing with the falling evening. The stress of the day, the conversations, the tasks, the responsibilities, they linger faintly at the edges of your mind. But here, in this moment, they feel distant, as if they belong to another time, another version of yourself. Asterisk, ahead, there is a cottage waiting. A small retreat nestled between trees, glowing faintly as lanterns are lit within. Its windows cast warm golden light onto the path, like gentle arms reaching out to welcome you home. This cottage is yours, not the kind of home that requires upkeep or effort, but the kind that exists only for rest, for sanctuary, for sleep. Asterisk, as you open a wooden door, the soft creak of the hinges is met with a hush of silence inside. The space smells of lavender and cedarwood, of fresh linen and calm evenings. The room is simple but comforting, wooden beams overhead, shelves lined with books, and a fireplace that flickers with a low, steady glow. There is no urgency here, no demands, only the quiet invitation to rest. Asterisk, a chair waits by the fire. You ease yourself into it, and as you do, the cushion beneath seems to mold perfectly to your body, supporting every curve and muscle. The flames dance slowly, not fiercely, but with the kind of gentle sway that feels hypnotic. The shadows they cast move like soft waves across the walls, lulling your eyes into relaxation. Asterisk, on the small table beside you, there is a cup of tea. Its steam rises lazily, curling upward as though reluctant to leave the comfort of its cup. You lift it carefully, feeling the warmth spread across your hands before it even touches your lips. The first sip is delicate chamomile and honey, soothing your throat, calming your chest, inviting your body to loosen its grip on the day. Asterisk, the cottage has music too, not loud. Non-intrusive, but the kind that feels like air itself has chosen to hum. A quiet, slow melody drifts through the room, as though invisible strings were being plucked in the distance. You can't quite tell if it's a harp or the whisper of wind through trees, but it doesn't matter. Its purpose is not to be known, but to be felt. Asterisk, you lean back, close your eyes, and let the sound weave around you. The tension in your neck begins to dissolve. The heaviness behind your eyes softens. The thoughts that once felt so loud begin to scatter like leaves on a gentle breeze. And in their place, a stillness settles. Quiet but profound. Asterisk, this retreat is yours for as long as you need it. No one will disturb you here. The world outside will wait patiently, knowing that tonight is not about progress or plans. It is about healing. It is about allowing yourself to simply exist in the calm, without expectation. Asterisk, a clock ticks softly in the background, but it feels less like time passing and more like a reminder to breathe in rhythm. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Each breath slower than the last, as though your very body is learning the language of peace. Asterisk, the fireplace crackles, and you imagine that every spark that leaps upward carries with it one of your worries. Little fragments of stress burning away harmlessly in the warmth of the flame. You don't have to carry them anymore. Not tonight. Asterisk, after some time, you rise from the chair and step toward the window. Beyond the glass, the world has shifted. The sky is now deep indigo, the stars beginning to reveal themselves one by one. They twinkle softly, patiently, as if each one was placed there for you, to remind you that light is never lost, even in the deepest night. Asterisk, you unlatch the window and push it open. The air that enters is cool and refreshing, carrying with it the scent of pine and the faint sweetness of evening blooms. It brushes gently against your skin, a caress so light you can almost believe the night itself is trying to comfort you. Asterisk, somewhere in the distance, an owl calls a soft, low sound that echoes without urgency. The trees sway faintly, their leaves whispering secrets to the stars. And in that soundscape, you feel the weight in your chest ease. The anxiety that once seemed so stubborn begins to unravel, thread by thread, leaving only calm. Asterisk, you linger there, standing at the window, sipping the last of your tea. The music continues in the background, mingling with the natural symphony outside. The blend of sounds, the harp-like notes, the crackle of the fire, the rustle of leaves create something so harmonious. It feels as though the entire world is conspiring to help you rest. Asterisk, finally, you turn back into the room. The bed waits for you, its linen white and inviting, its pillows plump and ready to cradle your head. You slide beneath the covers, and they wrap around you like a gentle embrace. The mattress accepts your weight, supporting you without effort, holding you without judgment. Asterisk, as you lie there, the last of your conscious thoughts begin to fade. The day dissolves behind you. Tomorrow does not exist yet. There is only now this breath, this moment, this pieced at asterisk, and as the story of your evening retreat closes, a new story begins, not in words, but in dreams. Dreams painted by calm, carried by music, and lit by the healing glow of night. Asterisk, you are safe. Asterisk, you are calm. Asterisk, you are free to drift into deep, restful sleep. The pathway of dreams, asterisk, the gentle hush of night lingered in the air, carrying with it the soft fragrance of blooming jasmine. Outside the little cottage where our story continues, the world had slipped into a quiet rhythm, stars humming their silent song, leaves whispering in the cool breeze, and the far-off stream weaving its melody through the forest. Inside, the glow of the lantern still burned softly, a golden flame breathing warmth into the room as if it wanted to guard the peacefulness of the moment. Asterisk, Evelyn stirred slightly, adjusting the quilt around her shoulders. Her breathing was slow, steady, a rhythm that matched the lull of the night. But though her eyes were closed, her mind wandered not in restless thought. but in that quiet, tender space where the real world begins to blur into dreams. She could still hear the soft tones of the old storyteller's voice, the man who had guided her through the garden of calm in the first part of her journey. His words lingered like an embrace. Follow the path, Evelyn. The path of dreams will carry you gently where your heart needs to go. Asterisk. And so, within the soft cocoon of sleep, Evelyn found herself once more in the Glow Forest. The moonlight spilled down like silver silk, illuminating a winding path that glistened as though it had been brushed with stardust. It stretched out before her, winding through tall trees whose branches bent toward her as if in welcome. She felt the ground beneath her bare feet, smooth, soft, like velvet moss, cool and refreshing but never cold. Each step seemed to carry her deeper into a sanctuary that pulsed with calm. As she walked, Evelyn noticed lanterns hung from branches above, not made by human hands but grown from the trees themselves. Each lantern was a crystal flower, glowing faintly with light. They flickered softly, as if breathing, creating a gentle rhythm that echoed her heartbeat. She reached out and touched one. It was warm, humming faintly, and when her fingers brushed its petals, it opened like a bloom greeting the morning sun. From within, a small golden light fluttered free, spiraling upward like a firefly before vanishing into the sky. Asterisk A, gentle voice whispered from the trees. Every light you see is a dream waiting to be remembered. Asterisk Evelyn smiled. She didn't ask who spoke. In this dreamlike place, words carried no need for explanation. She continued forward, following the glowing lanterns that lined her path. The deeper she went, the calmer her body felt. Every step eased her shoulders, softened her breath, and quieted her heart. It was as if the forest absorbed every lingering fragment of stress, replacing it with peace. Asterisk the path eventually curved toward a stream. Its waters were clear and luminous, flowing gently with the faintest sound, like glass beads rolling over smooth stone. Evelyn knelt by the edge and touched the water. Instead of ripples, the surface shimmered with images scenes from her day, small and ordinary. A cup of tea cooling beside her, the sound of rain against the window, the faint hum of her favorite song. She realized the stream was not water but memory, flowing softly, inviting her to let it go. Asterisk with each image that passed, she felt lighter. The weight of the day dissolved, melting into the current, carried away without resistance. She whispered softly to herself, I release today. I release everything I cannot hold. And with that, the stream glowed brighter, carrying her words like golden leaves downstream. Asterisk, when Evelyn rose again, she felt renewed. The trees around her leaned closer, their leaves shimmering with quiet approval. And from deeper within the forest, she heard faint chimes. It was music, distant yet soothing, a melody woven from air and silence. Drawn to the sound, she followed. Asterisk, the path widened, leading her to a meadow bathed in moonlight. Here, flowers unlike any she had ever seen bloomed in circles pale blue, silver and pearl white petals opening gently as though singing with the stars. At the center of the meadow was a figure waiting, an elder woman cloaked in twilight, her eyes gentle, her smile warm. She held a staff carved from ivory wood, its tip glowing softly like a candle flame. Asterisk. "Welcome, Evelyn," the woman said, her voice like the hush of a lullaby. "You are walking the pathway of dreams, where hearts heal and burdens grow lighter." Asterisk. Evelyn bowed her head, not out of duty, but gratitude. "It feels so peaceful here," she whispered, "as if nothing heavy can touch me." Asterisk. The woman nodded. "That is the gift of the night. Day holds its weight, its worries, its endless voices, but here in the space between wakefulness and dreams, you are safe. You are whole. You are enough." Asterisk. The words sank deep into Evelyn's heart, washing over her like warm rain. She hadn't realized how much she had needed to hear them. Asterisk. The elder woman guided her to sit among the flowers, and as Evelyn did, she noticed the petals glowing brighter, pulsing in rhythm with her breath. "These are the blossoms of serenity," the woman explained. "They bloom for those who walk with an open heart. Each petal carries away a fragment of unrest. Let them surround you, Evelyn. Let them take from you what no longer serves." Asterisk. Evelyn closed her eyes, letting the fragrance of the flowers envelop her. It was gentle, sweet, with a hint of earth and rain. She inhaled deeply, and with each breath, she felt the tension leave her body. Thoughts that had been tangled loosened. Fears that had whispered at the edge of her mind quieted. Even the faint ache in her chest she had carried for so long softened, as though the blossoms reached inside and brushed it away. Asterisk. The woman spoke again, her voice low, steady. "Sleep is not escape. It is not forgetting. Sleep is a return to yourself. It is your spirit saying, 'Rest, so I may heal.'" Asterisk. Evelyn let the words sink in, and for the first time in many nights, she felt no need to resist. She simply allowed the flowers to hold her, allowed the meadow to cradle her, allowed the night to be enough. Asterisk. Time in the meadow was gentle and unhurried. Stars shifted above, and the flowers swayed in rhythms too slow for the waking world. At last the woman rose, lifting her staff. A line of light unfurled before them, leading out of the meadow, stretching farther into the dream path. She smiled at Evelyn. Asterisk. There is more to see, more to feel, more to release. Follow the path, child of light, but remember this meadow, for it will always bloom when you need it. Asterisk. Evelyn stood, bowing in gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered. Asterisk. With one last look at the glowing meadow, she stepped onto the lighted path once more. The flowers swayed as though waving goodbye, their glow lingering behind her like a blessing. Asterisk. As she walked deeper into the forest, the music of the chimes grew louder, weaving with the sound of the stream and the hum of the lantern flowers above. It felt like the entire dreamscape was singing her forward. She could feel herself drifting further, not just in the dream, but in her own sleep, surrendering more fully to the peace that embraced her. Asterisk, and though she did not know what awaited her farther down the path, she trusted it would be gentle, healing, and filled with the same soft magic that had carried her this far. Asterisk, for in the pathway of dreams, every step was a lullaby, and Evelyn was ready to listen. The whispering lake asterisk, the path stretched onward like a ribbon of moonlight, leading Evelyn deeper into the dreamscape. Her steps were unhurried, steady, each one carrying her further from the weight of waking life and closer to a realm of pure peace. The trees bowed gracefully over her as she walked, their branches entwined with threads of starlight, creating a canopy that shimmered with quiet beauty. Asterisk, the chimes she had heard earlier grew clearer now. They were delicate, like glass bells touched by a soft breeze, each note drifting into the night with soothing grace. Evelyn followed their sound, her breath falling into rhythm with their melody, her body lighter with every step. Asterisk, soon, the forest opened into a clearing where the ground sloped gently downward. Before her lay a lake unlike any she had ever seen. Its surface shone like liquid silver, perfectly still, reflecting the sky above as though the heavens themselves had been poured into its basin. The stars danced upon the water, doubled and endless, and the moon rested at its center, glowing softly. Asterisk, Evelyn felt her chest rise with awe. The lake pulsed with a calm energy, quiet but immense, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. As she stepped closer, the soft grass beneath her feet gave way to smooth sand, pale and cool. She knelt by the water's edge, gazing into its depths. Asterisk at first. She saw only her reflection, gentle, calm, her features softened by moonlight. But as she leaned closer, the water shifted, showing not just her face but the truth of her heart. Memories rippled across the surface. She saw herself as a child, laughing freely under the sun. She saw moments of joy, friends, family, small kindnesses. She saw struggles too, the times she had felt weary, the nights she had cried silently, the days when burdens felt too heavy. Asterisk, for a moment, Evelyn's eyes grew wet. The memories were tender, raw, yet wrapped in the gentleness of the lake's glow. They did not sting. Instead, they shimmered with acceptance. A soft voice rose from the water itself, melodic and kind. Asterisk, every part of you is welcome here. Every moment, light and heavy, belongs to the story of your soul. And in this place, nothing is too much to bear. Asterisk, Evelyn closed her eyes, pressing a hand to her heart. She inhaled deeply, and as she exhaled, she felt herself surrendering. Not in defeat, but in release, like opening clenched hands and letting go. The tension melted from her shoulders. Her heart felt lighter, freer. Asterisk, when she opened her eyes again, the lake shimmered more brightly as though it mirrored her release. Ripples formed, and from the center of the lake, a light began to rise. Slowly it took shape, a swan, pure white, gliding gracefully across the water. Its feathers glowed faintly, trailing stardust with every movement. The swan's eyes met Evelyn's, deep and serene, as if it had been waiting for her. Asterisk, without words, the swan invited her closer. Evelyn stood, her bare feet sinking slightly into the sand, and stepped into the lake. The water was cool at first touch, but it quickly warmed, embracing her like silk. She waded in slowly, each step sending ripples across the mirrored surface. Asterisk, the swan glided toward her, lowering its head gently. Evelyn reached out and touched its feathers, which were impossibly soft, radiating warmth. The moment her hand connected, a calm unlike anything she had ever known flowed through her. It was as if every restless thought dissolved, replaced by stillness. Asterisk, the swan circled her, then paused, dipping its beak into the water. Where it touched, the lake glowed brighter, forming a pathway of light across its surface. Evelyn understood this was her next step. She followed the swan as it led her deeper into the lake. Strangely, though she walked into the water, she never sank. The glowing path held her steady, carrying her across the surface as if she were walking on moonlight itself. Asterisk around her, the stars reflected in the lake began to shift. They swirled slowly, creating patterns, constellations she did not recognize but somehow understood. Each one pulsed gently, sending warmth through her chest. She realized they were not constellations at all, but stories, fragments of dreams, hopes, and healing woven into the fabric of this place. Asterisk, the swan paused at the lake's center, where the moon's reflection glowed brightest. Evelyn stood beside it, gazing down at the silver light beneath her. The water shimmered, and once more, her reflection appeared. This time, however, it looked different, softer, stronger, radiating a quiet light from within. Asterisk, the voice of the lake returned, low and tender. Asterisk, you are more than your burdens, Evelyn. You are the sum of your light, your resilience, your endless capacity to begin again. Rest and let this truth anchor you. Asterisk, Evelyn's eyes filled with tears again, but these were not heavy. They were cleansing, like rain washing dust from stone. She let them fall, each drop merging with the silver water. And as they did, she felt something shift deep inside an opening, a spaciousness as though her soul had stretched its wings. Asterisk, the swan bowed its head, then spread its wings wide. With a graceful leap, it rose into the sky, scattering stardust as it flew. The trail of light lingered, drifting gently down until it touched Evelyn's skin, wrapping her in warmth. She felt herself glowing faintly, as if the lake had imprinted its peace upon her. Asterisk, slowly, the lighted path guided her back to the shore. As she stepped onto the sand, the water stilled once more, perfectly calm, the stars resuming their mirrored dance. The lake no longer showed her memories, but she could feel them settled within her, accepted, healed, held in quiet balance. Asterisk, on the shore, she found a bench carved from smooth stone, its surface warm despite the night. She sat down, letting her gaze linger on the silver water. A soft breeze brushed her cheek, carrying the scent of Lilith. Above, the moon glowed brighter as though smiling. Asterisk, and in that moment, Evelyn felt something she had not in a long time: wholeness. Not because everything was perfect, but because she was at peace with it all. She belonged to herself again. Asterisk, her eyelids grew heavy, the weight of gentle rest pulling her deeper into sleep. The lake's lullaby hummed softly in her ears, each note carrying her closer to dreams. Asterisk, and so, in the heart of the whispering lake, Evelyn drifted into the quiet embrace of rest, knowing that the journey ahead still held more wonders, more healing, more peace to uncover. Asterisk for now, though the lake's song was enough to cradle her spirit, enough to remind her that peace was always within reach, enough to guide her deeper into the night. The Garden of Eternal Dawn asterisk. The night carried Evelyn onward, deeper into the dream realm that unfolded with every step she took. From the quiet embrace of the whispering lake, she followed a new path that emerged like a ribbon of light upon the ground. It shimmered faintly, as if woven from the dust of stars, guiding her gently forward. Asterisk, she walked with no sense of urgency, her breath steady, her heart unburdened. Every step was light, almost floating, as if the earth itself held her tenderly. The path meandered through groves of willows, their branches trailing long silver leaves that glistened like liquid moonlight. They swayed softly in the breeze, whispering words she could not quite understand, yet somehow felt in her heart. Asterisk, the air here was different, warmer, filled with the faintest glow. Though it was still night, Evelyn sensed that something new awaited her beyond these trees, something touched not by darkness or starlight, but by the promise of day. Asterisk, at last, the trees parted, and Evelyn stepped into a vast, breathtaking garden. It was unlike any garden she had ever known. Flowers bloomed in endless colors, their petals glowing faintly as though lit from within. Golden roses unfurled beside soft blue lily. Violet orchids shimmered next to white blossoms that sparkled like crystal. The air was thick with fragrant, sweet, delicate, calming. Asterisk above the garden stretched a sky caught between night and morning. The stars still shone faintly, but on the horizon, the first hues of dawn painted the sky roses, oranges, gentle pinks melting into one another. It was as if the world was holding its breath in the space between night and day, cherishing the quiet moment of transition. Asterisk. Evelyn stepped onto a pathway paved with smooth stones that glowed softly beneath her feet. As she walked, Butterflies of light rose from the flowers, fluttering silently around her. Each one sparkled like a tiny lantern, and their gentle dance filled her with a joy she could not explain. Asterisk. At the garden's heart stood a tree unlike any she had ever seen. Its trunk was wide and ancient, its bark shimmering with threads of gold. Its branches reached far into the sky, stretching across the garden, heavy with blossoms of every shade: pale pink, soft gold, deep violet. The blossoms glowed gently, like stars had taken root and bloomed. Asterisk. Evelyn approached the tree, her heart swelling with wonder. Beneath its branches stood a stone archway entwined with flowering vines. The arch seemed to pulse faintly, as though alive, inviting her closer. She paused, placing a hand on its warm surface, and instantly felt a gentle energy flow into her. It was not forceful, it was soothing, grounding, like a hand resting on her shoulder, reminding her she was safe. Asterisk. As Evelyn stood beneath the arch, a soft light bloomed around her, and the garden shifted. The air grew warmer, golden, as though dawn had fully arrived. The blossoms opened wider, releasing streams of light that floated upward like tiny suns. Birds appeared, their feathers glowing faintly, and they sang songs of such sweetness that Evelyn felt her heart lift higher. Asterisk. Then, from the base of the great tree, a figure emerged. She was radiant, draped in robes woven from sunlight and dawn mist. Her hair shimmered like morning gold, and her eyes held the calm of endless horizons. She walked with a grace that seemed to ripple through the garden itself, flowers leaning toward her as she passed. Asterisk. When she reached Evelyn, the woman smiled. Her voice, when she spoke, was soft yet strong, carrying both wisdom and warmth. Asterisk. Welcome, traveler of dreams. You have crossed the lake of whispers and released the weight of your heart. Now you stand at the threshold of renewal. This garden is a place of beginnings, a place where weary souls find their strength again. Asterisk. Evelyn bowed her head slightly, her voice hushed. It's so beautiful. I feel as though I could stay here forever. Asterisk. The woman's smile deepened. That is because this garden is not separate from you. It is the bloom of your own spirit. Every blossom reflects the beauty that resides within you. Every petal a piece of your resilience, your kindness, your endless capacity to grow. Asterisk. Evelyn's chest swelled with warmth. She gazed around at the blossoms, their colors shifting like liquid light. Could this truly be her? Could so much beauty live within her, even when she sometimes felt small and tired in the waking world? Asterisk. The woman touched Evelyn's hand gently. You doubt as many do, but look closely. Asterisk. With that, she led Evelyn to the base of the tree. There, carved into its bark, were symbols, spirals, stars, flowing lines. They glowed faintly, alive with energy. Evelyn reached out and traced one of the spirals with her fingertip. Instantly, memories bloomed in her mind. Asterisk. She saw moments of kindness she had given, smiles to strangers, words of comfort to friends, small gestures that had seemed insignificant at the time. Yet here, in the heart of the garden, they glowed like treasures. Each act of love and care had been planted like a seed, and now she stood among their blossoms. Asterisk, her eyes filled with tears, but again they were not heavy. They were soft, cleansing, reminding her of her worth. The woman's voice wrapped around her gently. Asterisk, you have given so much more than you realize. And now it is time to receive. Rest here, Evelyn, and let the garden restore you. Asterisk, the woman gestured, and a seat appeared beneath the great tree, a bench carved from luminous stone, cushioned with soft moss. Evelyn sat, the air thick with the perfume of blossoms. A golden bird fluttered onto her shoulder, its warmth spreading through her chest. Butterflies settled gently on her hands. Asterisk, the woman raised her hands toward the dawn, and the sky glowed brighter. A soft golden rain began to fall, not of water but of light. Each drop shimmered as it touched Evelyn's skin, sinking into her like warmth sinking into chilled hands. Wherever it touched, peace bloomed. Her muscles softened, her heartbeat slowed. Her mind stilled out. Asterisk, the woman spoke once more. Asterisk, every day brings its burdens, but every night offers renewal. You are never without the chance to begin again. Breathe deeply and know that you are safe, whole, and loved. Asterisk, Evelyn closed her eyes, inhaling deeply. The air filled her with warmth, as though dawn itself lived within her lungs. She exhaled slowly, and with it, every remnant of tension drifted away. Asterisk, the golden rain continued, wrapping her in light. She felt herself sinking, not into darkness, but into luminous calm, a softness that cradled her. The sounds of the garden, the bird song, the whisper of blossoms, the hum of the tree wove together into a lullaby. Asterisk, time seemed to blur. Minutes, hours, perhaps even years drifted by as she sat beneath the great tree, bathed in peace. At some point, she opened her eyes again, and the woman was gone. But the garden remained, glowing brighter than ever, alive with her presence. Asterisk, Evelyn realized she did not need the woman to guide her anymore. The garden was part of her now. Its blossoms would bloom whenever she remembered to breathe, to pause, to trust her own heart. She smiled softly, her eyes heavy with restful calm. Asterisk, as she stood, she felt the pathway of light appear once more, leading her beyond the garden. She took one last look at the blossoms, glowing like stars upon the earth, then stepped forward. The golden butterflies rose into the air, following her like companions of light. Asterisk, and so Evelyn left the garden of eternal dawn, carrying its peace within her, her spirit lighter than ever. Asterisk, ahead, the dreamscape shimmered with promise, and she knew her journey was not yet over. But for the first time in a long while, she felt not only ready, but eager to see what beauty awaited her, eager to discover more of herself in the world of dreams. The starlit sanctuary asterisk, a path that stretched before Evelyn, shimmered like a ribbon woven from dawn and twilight combined. Having left the garden of eternal dawn, she felt a new strength in her heart, soft but steady, like the rhythm of the ocean tide. Each step forward was effortless, as though the ground itself carried her. Asterisk, the butterflies of light still drifted around her, guiding her into what seemed like a wide open plain. Above, the sky had shifted once again. The glow of dawn had faded into a deeper indigo, scattered with stars brighter than she had ever seen. They pulsed softly like heartbeats in the sky, and she felt their rhythm aligning with her own. Asterisk, the air was cool and pure, filled with the faint fragrance of night-blooming flowers. The ground sparkled faintly as if sprinkled with fragments of stars that had fallen from above. The plain was quiet, yet not empty. There was a living stillness, a silence that spoke louder than words, calming every thought that tried to rise within her. Asterisk, as Evelyn continued walking, she saw a faint glow ahead, resting upon the horizon like a beacon. Drawn to it, she moved forward until she reached a gentle hill. At the hill's top was a sanctuary unlike anything she had ever imagined. Asterisk. The sanctuary was not built of stone or wood. It was made of light itself. Tall, graceful pillars shimmered like moonbeams, curving upward to form arches that seemed to hold the stars themselves. The walls were translucent, flowing like rippling water, and within them constellations danced, telling stories of the sky. Asterisk, at the heart of the sanctuary lay a vast pool of still water. Its surface was so smooth, so flawless, that it reflected the entire sky above. Stars, galaxies, and swirling nebulae glimmered upon its surface, making it seem as though Evelyn was standing between two infinities, one above, one below. Asterisk, Evelyn stepped inside, her breath catching at the beauty. The air inside the sanctuary hummed softly, a vibration that settled deep into her chest. It was the sound of peace made audible. Asterisk, she moved closer to the pool and knelt by its edge. The water was cool, glowing faintly with silver light. When she gazed into it, she did not see only her reflection, she saw her journey. The lantern-lit paths, the lake of whispers, the garden of eternal dawn. Every step shimmered upon the water's surface, reminding her of all she had walked through, all she had released. Asterisk, her reflection shifted. She saw herself not as weary or burdened, but radiant, her eyes soft, her posture tall, her presence glowing with the light of her inner strength. For the first time, Evelyn truly saw herself as she was, not broken, not small, but whole and luminous. As she breathed in this realization, a voice drifted softly across the sanctuary. It was neither male nor female, neither near nor far. It was everywhere, surrounding her like a gentle embrace. Asterisk, you have walked far, child of light. You have listened to the whispers of the lake, blossomed with the dawn, and now you stand beneath the eternal stars. This sanctuary is yours. It is the place where all burdens dissolve, where all wounds are soothed, where all hearts find rest. Asterisk. The voice was so tender, so filled with love, that Evelyn felt tears slip down her cheeks. Yet again, they were not tears of sorrow, but of released tears that washed her spirit clean. Asterisk, the voice continued. Asterisk, rest now, for you are safe. Lay your heart upon the stillness and let the stars cradle you. You do not need to carry anything here. You do not need to strive. Simply be. Asterisk, Evelyn placed her hand upon the water, and instantly the surface rippled with silver light. The ripples spread outward, filling the entire sanctuary, until every wall, every pillar, every star above seemed to shimmer in harmony with her touch. She felt her body lighten, her thoughts soften, her heart slow to the calmest rhythm she had ever known. Asterisk, slowly, a bed formed beside the pool, woven not of wood or fabric, but of pure starlight. It glowed softly, radiating warmth and comfort. Without hesitation, Evelyn lay down upon it. The bed held her like the embrace of a dear friend, surrounding her with softness beyond words. Asterisk, above her, the stars seemed to lower, shining closer, as though they leaned down to watch over her. The sanctuary pulsed gently in time with her breaths, as though the universe itself was breathing with her. Asterisk, the butterflies of light that had followed her now gathered around, forming a gentle dome above her bed. They pulsed faintly, like lanterns swaying in the breeze, their glow flickering in rhythm with her heartbeat. Asterisk, as Evelyn lay there, she felt the sanctuary sing. It was not a song of words, but of tones, deep and resonant, vibrating through her entire being. The song soothed every corner of her mind, unraveling knots of worry she hadn't realized she still held. Each note was a balm, each vibration a tender hand smoothing her soul. Asterisk, her eyelids grew heavy, though she did not resist. Instead, she surrendered to the comfort, letting her body sink deeper into the starlit bed. Asterisk, the voice spoke once more, softer now, like the hush of a lullaby. Asterisk, sleep, dear one. Sleep beneath the stars. Sleep knowing you are loved, safe, and whole. Let the light heal you. Let the night restore you. Dream sweetly, for the universe holds you in its gentle hands. Asterisk, Evelyn exhaled a long, peaceful breath. With it, she released the very last remnants of weight she had carried. She felt her body dissolve into the bed of starlight, her thoughts melting into the sanctuary song, her heart merging with the rhythm of the universe. Asterisk, and as the sanctuary's light wrapped her in infinite calm, Evelyn drifted into the deepest, most peaceful sleep she had ever known. Asterisk, the sanctuary remained, timeless and eternal, holding her as she dreamed. The stars above whispered softly, the pool of stillness reflected eternity, and the butterflies of light swayed like glowing guardians. Asterisk here, in the starlit sanctuary, Evelyn's journey found its perfect rest. And now, dear listener, as our story gently comes to an end, may your heart feel light, your mind calm, and your soul at ease. Tonight you have walked through paths of light, through whispers of peace, and into the sanctuary of stars. Asterisk, know this. No matter how heavy the day has been, no matter what worries tried to follow you here, you are safe, you are loved, and you are enough. Just as stars shine faithfully above, peace and rest are always waiting within you. Asterisk, close your eyes now, and let the stillness wrap around you like the softest blanket. Breathe deeply, release every last thought, and allow yourself to drift into the sweetest sleep. Asterisk, from my heart to yours. Thank you for letting me share this journey with you tonight. May your dreams be gentle, your rest be deep, and may you awaken renewed with the light of a new day. Asterisk, good night, my dear friend. Sleep peacefully